Welcome to our presentation entitled The Importance of Fostering Positive and Inclusive Preschool Classrooms. As a former teacher of preschoolers of various abilities, I mean it when I say I'm so glad you're here today. People often associate preschool with playtime, and while it's true, our students learn a great deal through play. Everything we do in our classrooms has a purpose, and those outside our realm may not realize the amount of time, effort, research, and skill that go into creating a safe and engaging environment where preschool age children can thrive. Let's take a look at what we're going to cover today. First, we lay the foundation of our work by reviewing why creating a positive and inclusive classroom environment for preschool age children is essential to their development. Next, we discuss how celebrating diversity as a source of strength helps to meet the needs of our students. Then, we emphasize using a strength-based approach within the classroom. And lastly, we'll review how powerful parent partnerships impact our kiddos. Back in 1943, psychologist Abraham Maslow wrote a theory of human motivation that still rings true today. This triangle illustrates our hierarchy of needs. People's most fundamental needs are at the bottom, while the goal of self-actualization, where people create the best versions of themselves, is at the top. As the theory goes, an individual must satisfy one level of the pyramid to be prepared for and motivated for the next. So let's apply this to our students. Physiological needs are what they require for survival. Their clothing, food, sleep, and shelter. This is why having breakfast programs is essential for student learning. Once these basic needs are met, children will seek a sense of safety and security in school buildings, where they feel free from danger and threats. When our children have this foundation, they need to develop a sense of belonging in school. Feeling this connection is necessary for our students' self-esteem and self-actualization, where they reach their full potential, which is why it is so important that we foster a positive and inclusive learning environment in our classrooms. Who was your favorite teacher as a child? What about that person made their class so special? Chances are your fond recall of these teachers had nothing to do with their mastery of pedagogy, but rather with the relationship they formed with you and the learning environment they created. They may have also taken some time to get to know you. Research shows that when students feel a positive connection with their teacher, they respond by giving greater effort in class. Let's think more about this for a minute. Our relationships can actually build our students' motivation to participate, try new things, and learn. We have the power to build trust and promote their development with the words we speak, our facial expressions, the warmth in our voice, and our body language. The creative curriculum has been a trusted source for preschool educators for years. They offer 6 simple messages at the core of a positive and inclusive classroom. Let's take a look and reflect on whether or not we send these messages in our preschool environment. This is a good place to be. You belong here. This is a place you can trust. There are places you can be by yourself. You can do many things on your own here. This is a safe place to explore. Next, take a moment to think of the 3 most important aspects of a preschool classroom environment. If you have someone next to you, this is an opportunity to turn and talk about your ideas. I'm starting a 30-second timer for you to collect or share your thoughts. Okay, now hold on to those thoughts for just a moment. Here is just a portion of a video from Edutopia on creating a positive learning environment. Let's listen and see if we can identify what makes these classrooms special.
We respond to the environment. in which we find ourselves in a variety of ways that affect our learning. When children are in a calm, peaceful environment with aspects of nature around them, it builds brain architecture and enables them to learn more. We are barraged with information and emotion all of the time, and our brain is trying to sort things out and figure out how to put all of that in place. And in order to be able to learn, we need a certain amount of routine and consistency and calm so that our brain can focus on what's important and not have to focus on everything that is new and engaging all at the same time.
The environment has a large impact on student learning.
Come on.
We want school to be a safe, welcoming place where kids want to come here every day. They could be coming in the morning with lots of different emotions.
We're so glad that you're here this morning.
That we want to help mitigate so that they feel safe and secure at school.
Good morning, Jolene. We're glad you're here. Let me tell you what's happening this morning. We have pancakes for breakfast and pears.
It's very important that school be a reliable, consistent, routine place where you know what to count on, where things are somewhat predictable, not so much that they become boring, but so much that they give you that calm feeling that I know what it's about, I know how to participate, and that actually opens up the opportunity for more learning.
So some of the ways that we do that are creating a calm environment where the breakfast is ready for them, the teacher is at the door with a greeting, a hug, I missed you, I'm so happy you're here.
What did you think? You could see that the children there felt welcome and appreciated. Remember those 3 key aspects of a positive learning environment that you thought of a few minutes ago? Were any of them portrayed in this video? If so, good for you. If not, that's okay. There are many ways we can accomplish this atmosphere. Here are 3 takeaways from the Edutopia video clip. Greet your students as they arrive. Use the student's name, make eye contact, and smile. Let go of what's happened in the past. Every day should be a fresh start for everyone. Use predictable routines. Knowing what to expect reduces student anxiety. Dr. Darling Hammond also explains that this sense of reliability and consistency opens up the student's capacity to learn new things. And lastly, remain calm. As educators, we need to model what we want to see. To accomplish this, we need to be prepared for the day, have an organized classroom, and be ready for just about anything. There are countless predictable routines throughout our school day that can reduce the unknown and create opportunities for everyone to be successful, including greeting at arrival, removing jackets, hanging backpacks, turning in folders or communication books, and serving breakfast or offering quiet arrival activities like exploratory bins, puzzles, sorting activities, coloring, or practicing their name. Have a snack at the same time. Clean up to the same song. Have a signal for moving to the carpet. Line up by chanting the same poem. And ask children to sign in and out of the classroom when they leave. Routines not only decrease feelings of anxiety, but they also create opportunities to promote independence, even at this young age. For example, if a child can hang their backpack, please don't do it for them. Praise their effort and let our kiddos feel that sense of accomplishment. We can build future learning on their competence and confidence. And then move on to one of my favorite parts of the day, circle time, which creates a wonderful sense of belonging within a group. Smile and cue the class to gather on the carpet. Cues can be a hand signal, the sound of a chime, or even a song. It takes practice, but see if the class can accomplish this without using adult voices. Keep in mind, our little one's attention span may only last 5 minutes in September, but circle time can be extended as their attention span increases. It's a great time to set and explicitly review classroom expectations to ensure everyone knows what acceptable and unacceptable behavior looks like. Share big news to foster a sense of connection. Review the daily schedule for the day to alleviate any anxiety from the unknown, and assign classroom jobs so everyone can contribute. Sing songs and recite seasonal poems to promote literacy, and include any needed skill practice like counting, calendar activities, and a daily letter or number recognition. Also, don't forget to reinforce those good old fashioned manners. Saying please and thank you can go a long way. Our country is more diverse than ever, and the trends show that this is only increasing in the upcoming years. We can see countless examples of this in our classroom, ranging from physical, cognitive, and learning abilities to family structures, genders, cultural backgrounds, spoken languages in the home, family incomes, education levels, housing situations, and so much more. Normalizing and even celebrating differences can create a positive and inclusive environment. Having different backgrounds, experiences, and points of reference is the source of strength within our classroom that can foster mutual respect, appreciation, empathy, and creativity. How we arrange our classroom plays a big role in inclusivity. First, ensure the space is physically safe for our young, impulsive students. And let's acknowledge that their emotional sense of security is just as important. Is our space inviting and accessible to all? Will our students see themselves represented in the environment? Do the books, toys, and visuals around the room represent our diverse population? Are we mindful of our written and spoken language? Consider subtle shifts in our words, like using the word caregiver rather than parent, because some students live with adults other than their parents. Also, try addressing a group of students as friends instead of using boys and girls, just to ensure that everyone feels included. If English is the student's second language, consider greeting students in their native tongue or listening to a song that might be familiar to them. If we have written words labeling objects in the room, include labels in their native language as well. Each little person we work with is unique. As experienced educators, we realize that we cannot treat everyone the same. Our goal is equity, not equality. This means that fair is not everyone getting the same thing. Fair is everyone getting what they need to succeed. Take a look at this graphic of children picking apples. Every child is not given the same number of boxes, but rather the number of boxes they require to accomplish the task, whether that is 1, 2, or even 3 boxes. The concept of equity can be challenging for both students and staff, but it is an essential component of creating a positive and inclusive classroom learning environment. This message is so important that we're taking a second look. Here's another graphic from VIF International Education, illustrating the concept. Different plants require different amounts of nutrients, water, and sunlight to thrive. Children are no different. Each student may require a little something different to thrive in your classroom. So the next time you hear a child or a staff member say, "That's not fair," just remind them that fair isn't everyone getting the same thing. Fair is everyone getting what they need to succeed. Students enter our classroom with a wide range of academic, social, and emotional abilities. Are you someone who feels students are less prepared than ever before? You're not alone. And with some students, it can feel as though we're in an uphill battle. But in reality, those kiddos are the ones who need us the most. So, how do we make progress with our learners? We leverage the students' interests and strengths. It sounds simple, but we realize it's not always easy. However, using a strength based approach reinforces the foundation we discussed earlier in Maslow's hierarchy. When we identify, recognize, appreciate, and then utilize our kiddos' strengths, we're also prioritizing their sense of well being. We can build their self esteem and confidence, which we know they need to become the best versions of themselves. We boost interest and engagement. We all want to be recognized for our strengths, as opposed to being shamed for our mistakes or weaknesses. And we can develop supportive, trusting relationships and help them feel as though they belong. So let's take time to get to know our students. Ask caregivers for feedback. Look for opportunities to give genuine compliments. Encourage students to embrace their strengths, build skills, and shine. If a child is very social but has trouble academically, try partnering them with a buddy. If a student can recite sports facts but can't identify letters, start with the letters in the name of their favorite sports team to motivate them. If a child has difficulty writing their name but knows his colors, then encourage him to write the first letter of his name in his favorite color. The options to use student strengths and interests are endless. Because our young students lack self awareness and cannot verbalize their needs, we observe and assess them to help determine which learning style works best for them. Do they prefer listening, looking, or moving, or using a hands on approach? Auditory learners are good at listening and follow directions. To build their knowledge, we can describe things and explain things to them. With some encouragement and asking open ended questions, they can verbalize their thoughts, opinions, and understanding of new concepts. Here's an example. We can expect our kiddos to clean up after playtime. We can play a song with words that encourage them and explain the process while they work. Visual learners watch us, think in pictures, and remember new concepts when they're associated with an image. We can choose colors, shapes, and pictures to grab their attention, and then show them how something works. To go back to our cleanup example, these kiddos benefit from visuals. So print out pictures of the toys and tape them in the exact spot where they belong in the classroom. The young learners can match the truck to a specific photo on the shelf. You're integrating matching skills at the same time. Kinesthetic learners love to move and use their bodies. Touching, exploring, and movement all help them understand and retain information. It's important to create opportunities to move in our lessons. Cleanup time can be a chance for these kiddos to shine. Play the music and watch them go. Be sure to praise their efforts. These compliments, also called proximal attention, not only make the students feel proud of themselves, but also set a great example for those auditory and visual learners around them. There may be times when different activities meet everyone's needs, but other times when one activity will do. For example, using a song with a finger play can meet every learning style while building a sense of community, communication skills, finger dexterity, following directions, and so much more. And the best part is that kids don't really care how well we sing as long as we're having fun doing it. The more we smile and look like we're enjoying them, the more motivated they become. The principles behind Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, for preschool age children involve creating an inclusive learning environment and experience that meets the needs of our diverse learners. UDL is a vast topic, but the basic three principles include multiple means of representation, or how we present what students are learning, multiple means of action and expression, or how our kiddos can express what they know, multiple means of engagement, or why do our kiddos want to learn? What can we use to reinforce learning and motivate them? When it comes to creating a safe and responsive learning environment based on UDL principles, let's consider the following. Does our classroom provide structure and predictability? Opportunities to make choices and meet expectations? Responsibility for children to care for the materials? Support for developing appropriate social interactions? Enough time to engage with materials and others? Independent problem-solving opportunities? Support for a child's effort to develop independence? Clear expectations that are expressed both verbally and non-verbally, like on a chart or a photograph. Scan this QR code if you're interested in a complete UDL checklist for early childhood environments from the Center on Technology and Disability. Are you hoping to make your classroom more inclusive and accessible? Here are a few ideas to get you started. My guess is that you probably use some of them already. First, multisensory experiences when introducing new concepts. Visuals that support learning, like posters that support instruction, or schedules posted on the wall, or hand signals and gestures combined with verbal directions, or even individual schedules that include specials and therapies. Writing and coloring implements of various widths, lengths, and colors. Flexible seating options. Music as a signal for transitions. Space for all students to transition from one area to the next. Movement breaks, like freeze dance that also promote self-control, or group games like Simon Says for listening practice. Headphones to decrease noise levels. providing acceptable choices throughout the day. And of course, we strive to always include culturally rich materials and activities. Now let's shift to the powerful impact caregivers can have in our classroom. Creating this foundation starts with a positive communication. Begin the year by introducing yourself. Open up your classroom before classes begin, and send a letter home expressing your enthusiasm for the school year. This can be digital, typed, or even possibly handwritten. I know it takes time, but I hand wrote my young students a postcard every year before school began. I always include a family survey with my caregiver welcome letter. Use possible open ended questions like: what are your child's interests and strengths? What are his or her areas for growth? What goals do you have for your child? What else is important for me to know about your child? We can expect that not everyone will respond to this gesture. However, this can be the first step in building trust with those who do. You may also want to have a folder that goes back and forth, a communication book, a Google Classroom, or a class website. Whatever method you choose, be sure to celebrate the student's progress. A positive note or call home takes just a moment, but it can go a long way toward building a rapport. This relationship can help if you need to have a more challenging conversation later. When it comes to conferences, you can use the sandwich method. Start with a student's strength, add a specific example for an area for growth, and finish with a cute story or a shining moment. As parents, we all want to know that our children are cared for and appreciated by their teachers. Lastly, be sure to involve caregivers whenever possible. Research shows that positive family engagement promotes greater academic success as well as improved behavior and social skills. Before we leave here today, you can scan the QR code to download a free copy of 8 Tips to Build a Culture of Acceptance in an Inclusive Classroom Community. Feel free to share it with friends. This resource is special because it applies to any age group. Enjoy. Thank you for listening to our presentation on the importance of fostering positive and inclusive preschool classrooms. You have an important responsibility and challenge ahead this year. The staff in your classroom community have the opportunity to plant seeds of optimism and confidence that may blossom as these children grow. This last slide shows the resources used to create this presentation.